Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Love Spell, and we are going to get Florian's endings today. Are you excited? I'm excited. So, let's jump right in. Showdown on the Sea, episode 11. I roughly land on the floor with a loud thud as I glare daggers at the man before me. Gotta find a place to put my hat. Dr. Lockdar pulls out the angel's heart again and inspects it. He grins and kisses the glittering cross as he opens a nearby chest and places it inside. Gross. Kiss on that thing. My eyes widen in disbelief as I peer into the chest. Those are all of the missing relics! You were the one who stole them! Girl, where the fuck have you been? Literally, where the fuck have you been? I'm sorry, I'm hearing noises. Seriously though? Where has she been? He stole the cross. You should have, first of all, you should have made that link. And second of all, didn't you, when she found the cross, wasn't it in the drawer filled with a bunch of other stuff? She's a little slow on the uptake right now. Stole them? My dear, I discovered them! I don't know what's happening to his voice. It's different every fucking time we play this. Anyway. I'm bold enough to say they were rightfully mine to begin with. How could you say that? Those are important pieces of history! How can you call yourself an archaeologist? And just what do you know about the field of archaeology, you insolent girl? Professor Atlas respected you more than anyone. He looked up to you. He even said you were like a father to him. How could you do something like this? Dr. Lockdar throws his head back in roaring laughter as he turns to face me. I can see his veins popping out of his neck as he turns red in fury. Respected me? Ha! Don't make me laugh. That insolent fool took everything from me. Because he's young and hot. I can understand why you'd be jealous. I was at the top of the world. Every discovery, every interview, every credit went to me and me alone. I was a star to the public. They spoke of me and my discoveries as they would a prophet. My name alone was going to go down in history as the greatest archaeologist the world had ever seen. Until he came along. Pains me even more to admit I was the one who contributed most to his success. I thought he'd be nothing more than an admiring student, a measly assistant, till suddenly it all changed. He unearthed a few measly discoveries, and single-handedly he became a worldwide sensation. I'm gonna guess they weren't measly discoveries, but they were pretty damn good discoveries, and him being hot didn't hurt at all. He reached the point that had taken me over 40 years worth of blood, sweat, and tears to reach. No time at all. Yeah, it kind of sucks when someone younger and better than you comes along. Because it's took you 40 years to get to the point that he managed to do, and you're like, you just don't want to admit he's better than you. But that's what it is. And that's, I mean, I can feel him, because we've all been Dr. Lockdar at one point in time where you're like, I'm like, so, why is everyone better than me? And then you just feel like shit about yourself. But we don't usually go stealing things and setting people up and doing this kind of level of shit. We just cry into a pint of ice cream. Everyone is better than me and I suck and I hate it. As the years passed, the wheels only rolled further in his favor. My sponsors, my admirers, and even my employers. I had to watch as they all left and chose to work with him. To give him everything I once had. It's like he's the only archaeologist in the fucking world. And I asked myself, why? Is it because he's young? Because he's attractive? Because he's super handsome? I mean, have you seen the man? I'm just kidding. I mean, I just feel like that's churning in the back of his mind. Because he's passionate? All the things I used to be, so... Why? Why was I cast aside so easily? Because you're an evil son of a bitch. I swallow hard as I watch pure rage fill Dr. Lockdar's eyes as he pulls a gun out from his pocket and loads it. I hear
I hear crewmen begin to yell outside as the boat gets ready to set sail.
I learned the hard way that this world and this field I loved so dearly is a lot more shallow than it appears to be. People don't care about history. They don't care that you spend your whole life devoted to searching the world to better it. For the second something more interesting comes along, they forget all about you.
That's why you gotta keep finding the better, interesting things. Well, you gotta keep finding the interesting things. He's better. And that's just, it took you 40 years to get to the same place. It only took him like a magic minute to do. And it's not just because he's hot. I mean, that doesn't hurt.
I lost respect for archaeology and cast it aside, just as it cast me. There is no real justice.
No, now you're just being bitter. That's not true at all. You're just envious of him. You're nothing but a jealous backstabber. I mean, true, but I feel like we could have used better words. That's like, but literally, when you're like tied up, you're just a nasty McNasterson. You can't come up. You're just, shit, something better.
Quiet, you, lest you'd like to be shark bait again before we reach our destination. Boo-ha-ha.
I grimace as I watch him stalk out of the room and lock the door. I eye the chest filled with stolen treasures, and my heart jumps as I feel the boat's engines roar to life. Oh my god, we're gonna get the best fucking ending. No. This can't be happening. I forgot. This bad ending is like the best fucking bad ending ever. I struggle and struggle, but my hands and feet are tied tightly. As I squirm, I watch a familiar-looking pen fall out of my pocket. Philia? Blurry images of the night before return to my memory. Ones that we weren't privy to until now. I eye the item in my hand suspiciously as I look up to the witch. Are you sure they won't notice?
Oh, child, did you forget who you're dealing with? No mortal eyes can ever be able to tell the difference.
In my hands, I hold a replica of the angel's heart as the witch holds the real one in hers.
Find the difference. You'll be here fucking forever.
She stows it away in her strange bag as she shoots me a reassuring smile.
It's the same relic, just without the catastrophic supernatural abilities. Still shiny and gold to anyone else who looks at it. Now you should get going. The storm is over and I believe you still have some unfinished business to attend to, yes?
I nod as I can't help but smile. Without thinking, I quickly wrap my arms around her in an appreciative hug. Thank you so much for everything.
You're most welcome, my dear. And before you go...
The witch pulls out a familiar, quirky-looking pen from the depths of her bag. She smiles tenderly as she places it in my hands.
Here, my final gift to you. She's yours to keep. Just in case you're ever in need of a friend.
I take in a deep breath. Philia, please wake up! I need you! At my words, the quirky-looking pen on the floor starts to rattle before it begins to glow a bright pink. Before my eyes, the pen transforms into my lovable, quirky penguin. Philia! And you know what's nice about this, too? Not just Philia in general, because, like, all of that, but if you're like, fuck, I don't have a pen. Hold on, Philia, I need a pen. Now she's a pen. Like, Philia, I need a pen. Like, it's a little awkward. Are you writing with her butt? I don't know. But anyway.
Wait, Master!
The little penguin's eyes widen as she sees me and wraps her flippers around me in a small embrace. Little tears well up in her eyes, and I can't help but smile.
Philia was so worried about you. Philia's so sorry. I forgot to warn you about this spell's deadline, and then...
Philia, don't worry about that. I need you to help me out of these ropes, and fast.
Master, you're tied up again? Philia's starting to think you like this sort of thing.
As she loosens the rope and helps me free, I grab the door, but it's shut tight. You're like, I mean, of course I like it a little bit, but like, not right now. I mean, Atlas has to be here for me to enjoy the being tied up thing. You know what I'm saying, but... Damn it! Suddenly, there's a giant noise and we're sent flying across the room. The chest with the relics also topples over, breaking the lock as its contents spill out. The boat suddenly stopped moving. Did we crash into something? Goddamn icebergs! I hear screaming coming from the outside as a gunshot is fired.
Master, what the heck is going on?
Don't worry about that right now. Just know we need to get out of here and fast. Philia, can you bust open this door here?
Aye, aye, Captain! One door busting coming right up!
As I run out towards the dock, I see smoke and fire ascending into the air. Is that? My eyes widen as I see that a salvage boat has now crashed headfirst into this one, stopping and anchoring it in its tracks. I see armed locals along with familiar-looking scientists and other crew members in arms against Dr. Lockdar's henchmen down below from atop the captain's deck. Okay. Crew members in arms against Dr. Lockdar's henchmen down below from atop the captain's deck. Okay, anyway. Just didn't read. That was a really long sentence. Spacey! My heart beats loudly in my chest as I watch Professor Atlas run up to me from the dock. Professor! Just as I'm about to run to him, an arm wraps itself tightly around my neck as I feel a gun pressed to the side of my head. She's like, I'm starting to feel like Marcello, and I just don't like this either.
I wouldn't move if I were you, old boy.
I watch Professor Atlas stop dead in his tracks, breathing heavily as he shoots daggers at Dr. Lockdar. So, like, 1, he believed us. But 2, he also fucking remembers us. But you know what I mean? Like, we told him what happened, so he remembers us. Anyway, I'm trying to find a place to put our hat. Let's put it on him. Dr. Lockdar, have you gone mad? Why on earth are you doing this?
You and her really are alike. You both ask too many questions.
I don't know what's happening with his voice. Like, I just don't even fucking know at this point, okay? It's just all over the place. Just what do you hope to gain from all this? The hell is it you want? Tell me.
Now we're talking. I want you to call the rest of those fools off and watch as I quietly leave with the angel's heart. That's not asking for a whole lot, is it?
I mean, there's no way you're getting away with this. I struggle against my captor as I feel the gun being pressed deeper into my temple. Professor Atlas stares at my pained expression as he clenches his hands into tight fists.
Yes, that might be so. I might be thrown into a jail cell for the rest of my life. But you, old boy, won't have an assistant anymore.
With those teeth, he needed an evil laugh. That was terrifying. Angry and scared tears well into my eyes as I stare at Professor Atlas. Dr. Lockdar's grip tightens on me for a few moments as we watch the professor scowl deeply. Fine, I'll do anything you ask. Just let her go. Please. Beg of you. Professor...
Ha! Are you so smitten you can't think straight, you fool? I'm not letting anyone go until I see you walk back there and call those buffoons off. And be quick about it, would you? Or else my finger might just slip.
Professor Atlas stares unflinchingly into Dr. Lockdar's eyes for a few moments before turning around and walking back. He glances at me over his shoulder briefly, a pained, desolate look covering his expression. My eyes widen as I watch Dr. Lockdar chuckle darkly before turning the barrel of the gun towards Professor Atlas's back.
Dun dun dun.
This is it. All seems hopeless and lost. Suddenly, I hear a voice from inside me call out.
It might very well be the end, but there's still one last choice for you to make. What will you do, child, against such evil and terror? Will you choose to keep fighting? Will you choose to seek out the light, even in the face of such darkness?
I don't know what's happening with this voice either.
Or will you give up, accepting whatever may come to pass? The choice is yours, and you must make it now.
Warning, this choice you make, we know.
This is your story. Your fate is in your hands. Choose wisely.
Oh no, we're gonna... You chose poorly.
Now tell me, what will you do?
Choose to save Florian is obviously the right answer. I mean, hello, we don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure that one out at this point. But also, we're going to choose to save ourselves. As we know, we do the bad ending, then we loop back, we get the good ending. And this is the best bad ending, I swear to God, I think I've ever seen. I love it so much.
I see. She's like, oh. For real? For realsies, are you sure you... Oh, okay.
My eyes widen as I watch Dr. Lockdar chuckle darkly before turning the barrel of the gun towards Professor Atlas's back. No! Please, no! Before I can react, a deafening gunshot rings out. See, we didn't actually save ourselves. We said, no, please, no. I can't hear anything besides the frantic beating of my own sinking heart as I watch Professor Atlas, the man I love's body, crumple first to his knees and then lifelessly to the ground. Blood soaks his shirt from the wound on his back and begins to form a puddle on the ship's deck. Something snaps within me and I lose all bearing on my thoughts and actions. My body moves on its own as I can do nothing but thrash violently against Dr. Lockdar's hold, struggling with all my might to become free so I can rush to the ailing professor's side. In a last-ditch effort, I bite down on the arm that restrains me, earning a harsh cry of pain from Dr. Lockdar.
Ow! Why, you insolent girl!
Without warning, I feel a heavy blow to the back of my head as Dr. Lockdar uses the butt of the gun to strike me down. The next thing I know, I fall into the ground with a dull and painful thud. The world around me spins as my vision begins to falter, and I can undoubtedly feel my consciousness fade. Oh, someone's saying Spacey. Spacey. I don't know who it is. I groan as I swear I can hear someone calling my name, but it sounds faint, as if from a far-off distance. I don't think it's the witch. It's not Professor because he's supposed to be dead, but... Or maybe it is him crawling to me. I don't know, but someone... Spacey, open your eyes, please! Everything is in a haze, but I heed the command and languidly open my eyes. Oh no. Oh god, I thought he was dead. I don't remember this part of the bad ending. I remember the, like, after ending. You know what I mean? Like the little... It's good. Spacey, I'm so sorry, Spacey. Although my field of sight is clouding over, I can still make out Florian's face behind the looming darkness as he reaches out a hand towards me. We're dying and we can't even hold hands. Spacey! I use the last of my strength to outstretch my hand back at him. Florian, I used the last of my strength to outstretch my hand back at him. We already said that, but I don't know if they, like... I'm assuming they're supposed to say, all I remember is a wave of warm memories washing over me, with Professor Atlas's teasing smirk lingering until the very end, before everything finally fades to black. The last thing I remember hearing is another gunshot, followed by a shout of pain. This. Okay. Many, many years later. I know it's weird. The opening is wearing it. Strange. Wow, look at that sparkling ocean. We're so lucky our school chose these exotic islands for our field trip this year. The ocean sure is beautiful, but I don't know. It's kind of creepy too. Haven't you heard about the legend of the Weeping Maiden? Right. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? Huh? The legend of the Weeping what?
Oh, my dearies. So you've heard about the legend, too.
What? Who said that?
Oh, my, I do apologize. I didn't wish to frighten you, young ones.
The two students turned their heads to see an old, mysterious woman standing beside them in a spot they swear was just empty a moment ago. The witch smiles in return, although it's a smile that doesn't reach her eyes.
Looking at you two with such light in your eyes, Reminds me of old memories of days gone by. The legend you speak of is more than real. Now won't you listen to my little spiel?
I guess she fucking rhymes. Both students exchange looks before turning back around to face the woman. They're like, lady, you're rhyming. Not wanting to hurt the old woman's feelings, and admittedly a little curious, they nod slowly. Of course you're fucking curious! Tell me! Tell me about this legend! Please, the old woman folds her hands and clears her throat.
And now, oh, thank you, dearies. Now, how did it go?
Ah, yes, it's all coming back to me.
It all happened many lifetimes ago. A pair of star-crossed lovers came to this island to uncover an ancient treasure with powers unlike any mere mortal could ever behold. The young girl, a little clumsy but always brave of heart, had unintentionally cast a spell on the man, who fell even more madly in love with her as a result. After a perilous adventure full of ups and downs, risks and victories, the two recovered the ancient treasure. And with the pure wish in her heart, the girl was able to unlock its power to make their love as true could be. However,
the witch's tone suddenly grows gravely serious, and a dark hue casts over her expression.
Fate can be a cruel, cruel mistress. In a twist of spiteful destiny, an enemy, as jealous as he was wicked, hurt the girl and murdered the man in cold blood for the treasure. When the girl woke up to the reality that her lover had perished, her grief was simply immeasurable. Did as those around her could to console her, she lived on only as a mere husk of her former self, until one day she disappeared altogether.
A cold shiver runs down the two students' spines as they lean in, concentrating with bated breath as they listen to the conclusion of the story.
No one knows what became of her, but it is said that on the night of the full moon, if you walk along the beach next to the site where an abandoned laboratory used to stand, you may hear the cry of a heartbroken woman amidst the crashing waves.
We became a motherfucking urban legend! A motherfucking urban legend! That is the best fucking game over! Dude, it's just as fucking amazing the second time around. Like, the first time I got that, I'm like, we just became a fucking urban legend. That is fucking great. I love that so goddamn much. A familiar voice comes to you from within the darkness.
It seems you've met a terrible fate. Poor child, I can feel the anguish and strong regret in your heart even now. Would you like to turn back the hands of time?
And obviously the first time I played it, we did the good ending first, and then we did the bad ending, and I was like, well, it goes, and then all the other paths I switched it. So it's kind of, look, I would have been done with this game, and we would have been so much further along with posting it if I hadn't had issues, okay? And now I've just been lollygagging, and it's taken me forever to re-record. But, damn, it's almost, like, this is the best bad ending ever. I don't even know. Like, anyway.
Very well. Then I shall turn back the hands of time.
Alright, so I run out to the dock, and oh my god, there's something in there. Wait, Professor! Oh my god, everyone's fighting! Professor! Spacey! Professor! Oh! Oh my god! Doctor's got me! Look, we don't need to read through this whole thing again. You know exactly what happened. It's not like it's... We're like, wait a minute, I feel like... Do you ever get that creepy deja vu feeling?
Ha ha ha, I'm going to kill her if you don't stop them! Ah!
All that crazy shit. Let her go, Professor.
God damn it, I might just get a itchy trigger finger.
All is hopeless and lost. Oh my god, what are you going to do?
Are you going to give up? What are you going to do? Maybe you should choose the right answer this time.
Choose to save Florian. Save my man! Like, we didn't know that's the right answer.
I see. Well done, child.
Save Florian. Throw my body in the way of the bullet. My eyes widen as I watch Dr. Lockdar chuckle darkly before turning the barrel of the gun towards Professor Atlas's back. Wait a minute. I've been bamboozled. No, I won't let you hurt him. Using all my strength, I bite down onto Dr. Lockdar's arm and he yelps in pain. Taking this moment of opportunity, I use my strength to shove him back and land a nice kick to his groin. Damn right. As the doctor groans in pain, I reach for the gun, but the boat suddenly moves and the gun slides in his direction. Fucking course. I watch in terror as he picks it up and angrily points it at me. I close my eyes, preparing for the worst, when suddenly...
Philia, to the rescue!
And this is why you have a magic penguin. I watch as Philia headbutts the doctor's arm and he drops the gun. Losing his hold on it, he lunges to grab it, but Professor Atlas kicks it out of his way before punching him square in the face. Damn right. Dr. Lockdar falls backwards towards the edge of the boat with a bloody nose. I grab onto a rail as I feel the boat begin to move under us. The boat! It's moving again! That's gonna make me seasick. Professor Atlas and Dr. Lockdar exchange blows as I reach for the gun, but the boat begins to move again and I tumble over. I watch as Philia falls over the edge of the boat.
Penguin overboard!
Philia!
Don't worry, I can swim!
I hear a splash at the bottom, but look up to see the Angel's Heart replica now lies where Philia once was. The professor lands another punch as the doctor goes flying towards the edge. I gasp as the gun also tilts in his direction. He grabs it and points it directly at Professor Atlas. Sometimes you just want to have a fun evil laugh. It's not quite great, but anyway.
I'm afraid this is the end of the line, Florian.
Look, his voice is all over the place, so I'm just doing it. No, I'm afraid this is! With all of my force, I pick up and throw the Angel's Heart at Dr. Lockdar, and it makes a clean hit to his head. Yikes. Losing his balance, the doctor drops the gun and grabs onto the edge of the boat. Wait, please, help me! I can't swim! Should have thought about that before you got on the fucking boat, bitch! This one's for my professor, you asshole! I step on the doctor's hand as I watch him yell and fall into the ocean. Aw, she's vindictive. I can't swim too fucking bad! And the me saying that, and then she actually kicked the motherfucker overboard, like, bitch is harsh! I watch from above as a helicopter arrives at the scene, along with another police boat that pulls in. A few moments later, we watch as police fish Dr. Lockdar out of the water and arrest him as he screams obscenities. Meanwhile, this little bitch was just begging for my, no, please, don't kick me! Goddamn motherfuckers! Well, I slowly turn around when I feel a gentle hand on my shoulder. Hi, Professor. Without even being able to get a word in, the professor grabs me and pulls me into a tight embrace. Sorry, I dropped something on the floor. I hug back as I bury my face into his chest for a few minutes, relishing his touch once again. God, are you alright? Are you hurt anywhere? Did he do anything to you? Spacey, what on earth did I tell you about putting yourself in danger like that? Do you even listen to a word I say? Honestly. No, I'm fine. Wait, do you remember me? He's like, the fuck? She's like, you forgot for about 5 minutes there. Professor Atlas answers me by pulling me into a deep kiss that lays all my questions to rest. I kiss back with as much passion and love in my heart as I breathe in his familiar cologne. I love him so much, he's my favorite, and I'm really glad we saved this for last this time. After we part, he holds me tightly in his arms. I spot the Angel's Heart lying not too far from us, and smile as its jewels seem to glimmer in the sun. Plus, who didn't know you needed fucking Indiana Jones Adventures in an Otome game, or a bad fucking ending where you're a goddamn urban legend? It just checks off boxes I didn't know I had. You know, if you're gonna be this reckless as an archaeologist, I'm afraid to inform you that I'm not ever letting you out of my sight. You know, I think I can live with that. I don't ever want to be out of your sight. Oh, it's beautiful. A little lens flare can wear the hat. But then you could also say it's on the island in the background. I can't help but smile as he pulls me into another deep kiss. The sound of police sirens, helicopters, and the ocean mixes around us as our adventure comes to a close. A few months later, I sip on some coffee as I watch the news report flash images of the missing relics being returned to their rightful places. The words, "History's newest heroes," appear next to a picture of Professor Atlas and I. The coffee maker dings as I turn to look at the freshly brewed cup. "Professor, your coffee's ready." "Professor?" A warm smile tugs at my lips as I watch the professor's sleeping face as he's hunched over his desk. A light snore escapes him, and I can't help but stifle a giggle. I set down the coffee mug on his desk, walking over to place a small kiss on his cheek. Just as I'm about to walk away, an arm pulls me back, and I find myself in his lap. Well, hello, Professor. I hope this gives me an A. You were awake. Lesson number 1 of archaeology. We are all light sleepers. The professor pulls me into a kiss as I wrap my arms around his neck. Our kiss grows more and more heated as the minutes pass by. I gasp as he lifts me up and places me on his desk, his hands traveling further up my skirt. He shoots me a wry smile. I mean, you know we're gonna get cock-blocked. We get cock-blocked in everything but the one scene, but right now it's like, oh hi, on the desk? That's kind of kinky. I'm here for this. Professor, what if someone walks into the office? We're not supposed to be doing this. Shh, that's what makes it so nice. I mean, I know there's people with the, student-teacher, fetishes. Some people think that's weird. And I don't have, a student-teacher fetish, but it doesn't bother me. The lolly boys bother me. And, raging age gaps when it's we're, 15 and he's, 35. That creeps me the fuck out. I'm sorry. It does. Look, you want a love interest that's 20 dating some dude who's 50? That's a little weird, but, okay. He's your dad. But, when you're, 16, 17 and you're dating someone no, I'm sorry. Those bother me and it always fucking will. But student-teacher relationship, whatever. I don't, he's not that much older than us. We're in college. If we were in high school, it'd be a little fucking weird, but anyway. And that's precisely what makes it so fun. And besides, everyone's already gone home for the day. It's just us here. I'm here too. But your coffee's getting cold. I like iced coffee. We can just make some more, right? Or you could learn to enjoy iced coffee. We continue kissing, but stop as we hear the sound of the printer machine starting up. Cock blocked by printer. The professor raises an eyebrow at me. Were you printing something? No, were you? The professor and I walk into the file room as we see a multitude of photos being ejected out of the fax tray. I grab some and peer through them. They look to be the satellite images of what appears to be a dense jungle. Spacey, take a look at this. I look over at the image of the professor's holding, and my eyes widen when I read the title. Missing piece of alleged map to lost city of gold found? We both look up at each other as excitement wells up in our eyes. Almost as if on cue, the professor's cell phone and the office's phones both start to ring. Well, Spacey, what do you say? Are you up for another adventure with me? No, every day's an adventure with you, sweetie. I take his hand in mine and I give it a tight squeeze before I smile. Let's do it. After all, this is history in the making. I can't do two voices at once. I mean, I could if I edited this shit, but you know I'm not gonna, so. We've already seen the ending credits. We watched them. They're freaking adorable. Congratulations, you've unlocked the secret ending for Florian. The story's not over yet. The adventure's only just begun. I know in my heart it will never end. Lost City of Gold. Oh, a lost, not the. Several months later, I wipe away the beads of sweat dripping down my brow as I stare into the depths of the jungle before us. Trees that seem to touch the sky surround me, and a group of explorers led by Trees that seem to touch the sky surround me and a group of explorers led by Professor Atlas. Look, sometimes they're very long sentences, so I just, for some reason, even though I could see it wasn't, I just expected it to go on longer. It's been almost a week since we landed in this dense wilderness, searching for clues to El Dorado, the legendary Lost City of Gold. Well, we've all seen that movie. Wait, that's not a Disney movie. That's not the Disney one, right? Is El Dorado a Disney one? I don't think it is. Anyway. I've seen it, but I don't remember. I sit down on a nearby tree stump to catch my breath as I watch the majority of our small team walk on ahead. I kind of feel like it is because it is very much drawn like the Emperor's New Groove. There's very similarities in the squareness of the faces and everything. Like, it seems like it came out with, I have to say, somewhere around, within the same, like, decade. There's, like, and I know Atlantis was, but that was not, like, for some reason nobody, like, watched that one. Like, you know? But you see the art style, you're like, yeah, there was, like, a trend going on right in that time period. Like, they all kind of look similar. So that's why I want to be like, I feel like it was a Disney one, but then at the same time, I don't remember. I don't know. Anyway. Gosh, it's so hot. If you complain that it's hot one more time, I'm gonna give you a real reason to sweat. Oh, hi! Yeah, damn you! Please. It's so hot, Professor. Slowly starts unbuttoning my blouse. In the middle of the jungle. Gross! My cheeks flush pink as I feel two strong arms snake around my waist. I like how he teases us, though. It wouldn't work on me, because I would just turn it back on him, and it just, wouldn't be fun for him, I doubt. I look nervously to make sure no one else is around. Professor! Not now! And when? I haven't touched you in hours, and I feel like I could die right here in this very spot. I love how needy he is. Also, hello. I love your fucking jungle exploring outfit. Especially the ascot thing going on there. Love it. I can't help but giggle at my boyfriend's uncharacteristically childish behavior. To everyone and to the world, he's a fearless, famous, and renowned archaeologist aiming to discover what secrets lie hidden deep in the earth. But to me, you're such a baby, you know that? I can give you a baby. What? I'm gonna need you. That's the only line in his whole route that's like, I'm gonna need you to take that back. Take it back. That is mean. I did nothing to deserve that threat. How cruel. Vagina's closed for business. Get out of here. Professor! Although we don't have an outfit for this. I feel like us wearing the outfit we normally wear in the jungle is just not gonna work. A voice calls out to us as I turn around to hide my scarlet-covered face. Professor Atlas! Miss Spacey! Come quick! We found something in the river! The professor glances at me with a huge smile playing on his face. He leans into my ear as he walks forward. I'll go on ahead, Miss Spacey. Do be sure to catch up. I mean, he did that just to make us embarrassed, and it would make me vomit. My heart pounds wildly as he leaves. It's the inappropriateness of it I can give you, but whoa, 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 in the middle of the jungle? Ugh, this lost city doesn't end up being the death of me. He will be. That's why we love him, though. I turn around as one of the bags at my feet begins to rustle. A green, sickly-looking little penguin emerges. Yeah, she's like,
Oh, babies are gross. Philia doesn't care how much cheese Master promises her anymore. She's never getting into a bag ever again.
I'm sorry, Philia. Just a little more, I promise. We're almost there, I can feel it. She's like, bitch, nobody can see me.
Why can't Master search for lost civilizations in air conditioning?
You and me both, Philia. I let out a small laugh as I pat her on the head and offer her some water. Suddenly, I hear a commotion behind me and motion for Philia to follow me as we walk towards the river. It would be distracting, though. Could you imagine, like, dooting through the airport? You're like, doot, and there's just, like, a penguin, like, waddling next to you, and you'd be tempted to talk to the penguin, and people would be like, the fuck? But at least if she's stuffed in your bag, you're not tempted to talk to her, the penguin? That's not actual. It's only you can see. I feel like I would have asked the witch, like, so, like, I know Philia, and I can only see Philia, but can we make sure that Florian can see Philia, or, like, whichever one of our boyfriends, you know? Because, like, it's gonna be weird when I have a conversation with her, and he's, like, in the room, like, so if we could just, you know, he's in on the jig, like, nobody else has to be, but if somebody else, like, he's at least in on the dealio. And we could just be like, so, we won't mention the book and the magic spell, because then they would be like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think I'd want to know. Well, you fell in love with me because of a spell, and then you remember, but we're really in love. I'd be like, are you fucking shitting me? If you present me with a magic pink penguin, I'm gonna believe in magic, okay? You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm not gonna believe that I'm not under a spell anymore, or that it's all real, so just don't tell me about that. Be like, oh, so here's the thing. I ran into a witch, and I helped her out, and then when, you know, Dr. Lockdar was, like, trying to steal the cross, and then, like, you know, she helped me out, and like, I got Philia. Just leave the whole spell book thing out of it, the romance, but just leave that part out. You know, it's okay. Like, that lie of omission is totally okay in this sense. It's fine. It's fine. As I approach the river, I see Professor Atlas holding what appears to be a golden coin. A slight frown appears on his face as he turns around. Amazing. Do you think it could be a clue to El Dorado, Professor? Actually, I'm afraid these markings aren't the ones we're looking for. But nevertheless, it's an important clue. I'm sure everyone's had their fair share of exploring for the day. Let's set up camp in this area for the night. A look of relief appears on everyone's faces as the exhaustion is finally beginning to catch up to us. I approach the professor as he stares speculatively at the golden coin in his hand. I eye the markings of the coin and raise an eyebrow. Chinese. Mongolian, to be precise. However, this shouldn't be here. We're in one of the most uncharted areas on the planet. There's barely any recorded findings of this jungle at all. So what could this possibly be doing here? One question just seems to lead to another. The professor and I stare worryingly at each other's eyes for a few seconds before our attention is brought back to the camp setup. We can worry about that later, right? For now, let's get some rest. We deserve it. Indeed. Yeah, we ain't getting any fucking rest tonight. Neither is anyone else. What is that weird moaning? I sigh in frustration as I peek behind a nearby tree. Philia, where are you? I told you not to wander off. I search around the dark jungle for my little penguin, but I hear no response. I turn my back and see the fire from our campsite, along with the team having supper not too far from where I am. I sigh again as I put my hands on my hips. Philia, I'm never letting you out of that stupid bag again. A hand covers my mouth and muffles my screams as I'm pulled behind a nearby tree. I look to see Professor Atlas with a finger over his lips, signaling me to be quiet. Professor, what are you... He said be quiet. You better shut me up with your mouth. Before I can argue, I'm silenced with a deep kiss. Hell yeah, that's how you silence me. All of my attention is immediately shifted to the beautiful man in front of me as I slowly wrap my arms around his neck. We kiss deeply for a few more minutes before slowly separating. I see a small, bashful smile light up his face as he pulls me close. I'm sorry if I scared you. I've been wanting to do that all day. I love it when he blushes. It's adorable. My heartbeat quickens as I caress his cheek, and he stares at me with nothing but love in his eyes. I bring my lips to his again, and we kiss once more under the glow of the moonlight. What do you say to joining me for a bath in the river? Oh, hi. Now? But everyone's still awake. I turn my head skeptically towards our campsite, but he grabs my chin and forces me to look at him. I mean, this I don't understand. But people are awake, and you want me to be naked in the river with a bunch of other people staring at me? Buddy. I get her there. Come on, kitten. Where's the sense of adventure without a little danger? Okay, and the fact that he calls me kitten, I'm sorry, but I swear to God, he needs a British accent. Besides, I'm right here with you. I'm not gonna let anything happen. No, I'm more worried about people seeing my jubblies, okay? Like, in my business. My body, my business. And your business, I guess, but not anybody else's. I can't help but smile as I take his hand. Plus, it's gonna be really awkward when they come around and we're fucking in the river. You know what I mean? Like, they're gonna be like, gross! Like, the moon casts an ethereal glow over us as we kiss and undress each other near the river. Also, I mean, considering the fact that Lord knows what's in the fucking jungle river to begin with. Like, do you know what's in there? One of his hands is traveling down my back as the other is already entangled in my hair. I know it's supposed to be like, it's a crystal clear, perfect river and there is nothing, like no weird bacteria or fucking jungle snakes or any kind of like crocodile or any kind of weird shit. Like jungle dementors in this. It's supposed to be like, you know. But my brain can't help thinking of the reality of being in the middle of a jungle in a river and like how gross that probably is. And like, oh my god, we're gonna get like fucking rabies or something. We're gonna get like I don't know. We're gonna come back with some. We're gonna get Corona 20. Like, be COVID 20, sorry. But like, we're gonna be bringing something back with us that we should not, that no human being should ever touch. Like, in reality, but in the game, it's like crystal clear, perfect water, everything's amazing, and sex in the water isn't gonna be like really uncomfortable and hurty, but you know, totally not gonna give you all sorts of infections, okay? It's gonna be fine. But, again, logic in my brain hurts. Plus, you know we're getting cock-blocked anyway. I softly moan into his lips as he kisses me with all the passion in the world. Eventually, we start breathing heavily as our kisses grow heated. This is what you have tents for. I mean... You go with that one. We already put the tents up, but he's also got one you know what? Anyway. He pulls me closer to him and leaves no space between our bodies as he cups my face. He stares into my eyes as the moonlight reflects off them, and I can't help but smile. Well, hi, Topless. No, aren't you? You know, that smile of yours will be the end of me one day. Oh, what a way to go. Having sex in this river is going to be the end of us, just FYI. I answer him with a kiss of my own, and just as we pull each other closer, suddenly we freeze upon hearing a rustling in the bushes. My heart stops as we look in the direction of the noise. We hear it again. What is that? Shh. Try not to make too much noise and stay behind me. Quickly and quietly, we put our clothes back on as Professor Atlas approaches the small bush and brushes the foliage out of the way. This will be fun. We get to take our clothes off a second time. Behind the bush, we see a small, oddly colored monkey trying to bite into what appears to be a pile of gold, glittering coins. My eyes widen as I spot Philia sitting next to him on another rock.
Oh, hi, Master! Look, Philia made a new friend!
I frantically try to mouth words to Philia behind Professor Atlas, but the small pink penguin and the monkey both tilt their heads at me. Spacey, are you seeing this? Yes, it's a monkey and a pink penguin. Yep, it's a monkey. Definitely not a penguin. No, you don't understand. Look at the patterns on his fur. This monkey, it's supposed to be extinct. I swallow hard as the professor lowers himself down to the monkey and reaches a hand out to him. The monkey eyes Philia, and Philia nods. The monkey's like, the fuck?
Don't worry, he's nice. He's a friend. You can trust him.
I can't help but smile as the small monkey turns around and takes the professor's hand and looks under it, almost as if in search of food. It lets out a small cry as it climbs onto his shoulder and begins playing with his glasses. It's fucking adorable. Simply astounding. It's even more adorable. It's astounding! This is incredible! You're like, that's something adorable about you saying a word like, simply astounding, while there's an adorable monkey playing with your glass. You know what I mean? Like, you just picturing it, you're like, whoa, that's fucking cool. It doesn't have the same, like, oh, as astounding. Like, I don't know why. It just hits me in all the right places. Suddenly, there's another sound from afar. The monkey's head perks up in a direction to the north, and it hops off the professor's shoulder to scamper away into the undergrowth. It stops and looks back at Philia and at us, almost as if motioning us to follow. But how'd this pile of gold coins get here? As the professor trudges, the monkey dragged him maybe, but as the professor trudges in front of me, I turn to whisper to Philia, who's riding on my shoulder. Philia, where have you been? And who's that monkey? Do I need to have a talk? Do we have to talk about sex ed? You're a penguin, he's a monkey. That's weird. Pamunkies. Monkquins? Monkquins. Little baby monkquins! Oh my god. You didn't know you wanted to see monkquins until you said the word monkquins. Oh, I like it. They're probably going to be horrifying, but...
I don't know, but he seems nice. He offered Philia delicious fruit and said there was more of it at his home if I was hungry.
His home? Is that where he's taking us?
Yes, he said his home is very, very big and hidden in the depths of this jungle. And that everything there shines just like the sun. Doesn't it sound prettier?
It doesn't sound pretty. I was saying pretty and Philia at the same time. Wow.
Doesn't it sound so pretty? Philia told him she wants to visit.
Shines just like the sun? I can't help but stop in my tracks as the realization hits me. Oh my god! The professor turns to me with a questioning look as he notices I've trailed behind. Spacey, are you alright? I dash past him, grabbing his hand and running at full speed. Follow that monkey! Something you never thought you wanted to have to scream, but giant smiles grace our faces as we run through the moonlit jungle, hand in hand. Adrenaline rushes through our veins, and excitement wells in our heart. I think excitement would be in our hearts. But as we run and run, nearby monkeys, all from forgotten times, howl at the moon. A familiar cackle resounds throughout the trees as a figure flies across the starry sky on a broom. The world is filled with countless mysteries to be solved and secrets to be brought to light, but my most wondrous find is right beside me. As I look towards the man I love, I can't help but smile, knowing the bond we've formed is the greatest treasure of all. And in my heart, I know that the real adventure has just begun. Finn. Oh, so cute. Oh my god, the little cat can wear the hat. It's kind of crooked. Doesn't work right. Yay! And now we finally finished everything for the first time and we should be able to unlock the super secret thing. But I'm not going to do that. We're not doing that now. That's going to be... We're going to do that in the next part, which could be 5 minutes. I don't know. I don't know how we do it. Ooh! Key! I don't know if he's getting a route. It would be DLC. No, that's not actually what I wanted. We're going to do that in the next part. Because I don't know. It could be 5 minutes. It could be like 20 minutes. It could be an hour. I don't know. But Florian deserves to have his own ending. You know? Anyway. We got our lovely little end one. I can't, sometimes they don't, sometimes the hovering doesn't work. I would prefer to be able to click it and see it. You know, again, so that I can move the mouse out of the way, but also, because the hovering doesn't seem to work really well. I don't know, like, but, I mean, it's still actually, like, it works. It's just, for some reason, some of them just don't want to work really well. Our lovely sea cheese. There we go. All right, anyway. So, we finished the game. So, it's the second time, basically. Like, 1 3/4 of a time, basically, almost. More than that, actually, because I was partway through Enix's route. Not quite halfway, but good lord. So, it's been a fucking adventure. Like, playing this game for fucking forever. I actually don't mind it, but I mean, I did have to pace out and like took longer for me to record it the second time than it did the first time, just because I was like, I don't want to be like, oh, I'm going through and I got to do it again. You know what I mean? It's the principle of having to record everything twice, but I'm kind of glad. I mean, there was no way I wasn't going to. I backed this game. I enjoyed doing it the first time. I wanted you to see this. You know, after you played the game, because you've already played it and now you're just here for the, like, whatever. Right? If you didn't, then I want you in your guilt to go and follow them on Patreon to assuage your guilt for not actually buying and playing the game before you watch this playthrough, despite the fact that we've had this conversation a million times. So there you go. Go follow them on Patreon. Become a Patreon subscriber so that we can, you know, hopefully get some super fun secret things. You know, like Sergio's route. Come on, people. We want this. We need this. You need it. I need it. We all need it. For the good of the world. Do it. Anyway, but we will click that secret button with Aslan there and play with that and see what happens there. When we come back in the next part. So again, it might be a really short part. It'll just be like kind of a little after thing, you know, whatever. But I don't want it to take over Florian's route because everybody else got their, you know, endings and their part. And then, you know, so. And again, could be 5 minutes. It could be 10 minutes. If, I don't know. Yeah, but, you know, anyway. So that'll be the next part. Will be that little end thing and we'll wrap it all up. So I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.